Hello, and welcome to episode 5 of the Nobody Important podcast. I am Ramon.
Felipe.
And we're Nobody Important. Welcome to this week's episode. And this week we are going to have a bunch of different topics to go through. Everything from our drink of the week to our normal honor and report. And then going over kind of recaps of our weeks. We've had some interesting series of events. But to start off, it wouldn't be a Nobody Important podcast without Felipe's drink sticking to the coaster, which I think is about 3 weeks in a row. But this week, what do we got?
I believe it is called the Mexican
Firing Squad.
Yes, thank you. Sorry.
Yes.
I looked at the recipe, did not look at the drink.
So, Mexican Firing Squad.
Which is tequila, lime juice, some grenadine, and Angostura Bitters.
Yes. And so our glasses are super full because would you like to tell everyone exactly what happened?
So typically you mix the cheap ingredients first, and so I had my lime, everything basically. And when it came time to pour the tequila, I poured enough for one and not two. So when we poured them in our regular glasses, it looked kind of sad. I'm used to only making one cocktail at a time. I figured I'd save time making both, so it's just my fuck up. So then we had to make more, change the recipe a little bit to make sure we, had the proper, and it looks okay. It looks like what the picture looked like.
Yeah,
it even got a little bit of
came
foam.
out pretty good. It even has, a little bit of foam at the top. But yeah, that was our kind of like Frankenstein adventure in creating a Mexican Firing Squad because you don't really know what you're going to get.
Nope. And then we went a little hipster with our cups. We're drinking out of jars.
Yeah. So,
cheers.
That sounded better. It sounded better than the glass did last week.
So.
Oh, that is acidic.
Yeah. So, honestly, I think it needs some type of sugar more than the grenadine. Maybe a little bit of simple syrup somewhere. Because the acidity of the pomegranates and the lime.
Yeah.
And then the bitterness. And I don't taste tequila. And again, we're drinking
not really
4 ounces of tequila in each of these.
Yeah. So, oh well.
It looked pretty.
Yeah, looked pretty, and it's with grenadine and.
Ultimately, we had the ingredients for it.
There was an attempt.
And a try, and
we'll just go with there was an attempt. So this week. We'll start it off like we started last week, and then
did. Good job there.
English is hard.
Tell me about it. I have a story about that later.
But this week's honor and report.
Okay.
So, should I start? You start.
I'll go first. Mine are really quick because I know one of yours, and I really want to hear about it. My bad guy is yesterday. I went to a supermarket here. And as soon as in my area, you just kind of know that people are going to ask you for money. And nothing bad, and you understand people, sometimes are down on their luck. But as soon as I pulled into that lot, I knew that's the guy who's going to ask me for money. So
he just had that look on his face?
He just looked like it. I don't know. I don't know why. He was just sitting on a cart, just in the edge of the parking lot. Like, okay, whatever. So to try to avoid this, because I don't like human interaction, I went to the furthest extent to the lot, like away from him and away from the store, so I had to walk a bit. So I do my purchase, come back out, and as I'm getting back in my car, who should I find but this motherfucker? Hey, you got any change? I'm like, sorry man, I don't carry cash. That's the main reason I don't carry cash. It just helps me, I'm not lying to these people. I don't have cash.
Yeah. I mean, also you work in an area of town that has a very large
this wasn't even
homeless population.
That too.
So, I mean, the fact that, you can walk around just around your job, anything like that at any given time, and people that ask you for money.
Since you mentioned that, sorry to get away from this. I had a homeless guy on the corner who pulled out his pipe and started smoking. I'm not sure if it was crack or what else do you smoke out of a pipe. Clearly, we don't do drugs. But he was out there. He's enjoying his thing. And he was just dancing and singing at people. And I'm like, on the phone with the cops, like, hey, he's starting to sing now. He won't leave by the front. He's not getting away from the front door. And when the police showed up, I got a call about something else. Someone who just abandon their car in front of the fucking garage. That's another bad person, I guess. I'm double dipping since we skipped a week. Yeah, he just left his car there. So I went back to the front of the building. I saw the cop like, hey, can you guys help me with this? And then you see a guy running towards the car. It's like, I'm so sorry. I had an appointment I couldn't miss, which story doesn't really make sense. But I just want the car fucking gone. And the cops were like, not even going to do anything about it.
He parked on the sidewalk.
Blocking the sidewalk?
Blocking the sidewalk and blocking the entrance to your building's garage?
Yes.
Because he had an appointment.
There are so many better places than leaving your car on the fucking sidewalk.
There's parking spaces right in front of your building.
Not even that. Like, let's say he was going to like the bus station behind. Park where the fucking buses park. Why block the fucking garage? So that's my bad one. My good guy was a video I saw a few weeks ago, which you always can say, man, that video is fake or something. But he went around walking up to like I would assume a poor neighborhood, and he'd knock. He's like, hey, how much is rent here? I'm like looking for a place here. He's like, oh, it's this. He pulls out the cash and gives them a month of rent. So again, you can go back and say, maybe it's fake or whatever. But man, the first example he shows, this guy's like, I was praying because I knew it was going to be short this month, and then you showed up, and he just looks so thankful for it. And again, whether it's fake or not, because the video got removed, I'm not sure why.
So this guy basically went and he paid other people's rent?
He gave them whatever amount they said, he gave them cash. In the hopes, that they pay rent with it, right? You can't predict what you're going to do with money. But yeah, that was the idea behind it.
Dang.
It would be cool to be somewhere in life in that possibility because, paying someone's mortgage or rent for a month, that's life-changing. Like when you owned a condo, could you imagine like someone paid your mortgage and your HOA dues for a month?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. So hopefully one day we're in a position where we can do that to affect someone's life like that.
I gotta say, that is something I've always wanted to be able to do. Like, I've seen those videos where someone will go to like a restaurant and their server, they'll start talking up their server, asking what they're doing why they're a server, what they're doing outside of being a server, whether they're going to school, they're working on another career, they have a business, something like that they're starting up. And every time they're like, oh, I'm short a couple $100 on rent, I'm short a couple $100 on whatever it may be. And the person leaves them like a several $100 tip to basically offset that. I'm like, that's freaking cool. Like, I've always wanted to be able to do something like that, just to be able to help out other people that, just need it. I may be in a position where, I've needed that, and I would like to be on the flip side of that, where I am in that position to be able to give. That would be awesome.
100%. Mine is not the restaurant one. Mine is being able to go to a store and just see like a mom with like maybe who the hell knows if they're single, but just like see that they're a single mom, and if you bought her cart full of groceries, $200 of what it is, it would help out so much. That to me would be the best. It's like, I'm gonna pay for your groceries and do it. That to me is cool. But
that would be really awesome for sure.
See, Mom, we're not evil.
See, my honor isn't as holistic and as nice as that. But it's kind of a cool story. So I mentioned on the last podcast that I was going to be in LA for a week for like a business trip. I was going to be out of town, had a work conference, and I was in basically the central part of LA for a week, staying pretty much smack in the heart of the city. And
jealous.
You were just there a few months ago, and so you gave me a bunch of places that I needed to go and that I needed to try. Out of all of those places, the funniest thing was, so all of us that were there for that conference, the first night, we're trying to plan out like, oh, let's go out to dinner somewhere. Okay, fine. I was like, I really wanted to go to this bar that you told me about. It was a whiskey bar, but everyone wanted to go out for dinner. So I said, sure, no problem. Let's go out for dinner. We go there, or on our way there, we're walking to this place. I look up how far away the whiskey bar is, so that way I know after dinner I can ditch them and go to this bar. Turns out, the place that everyone picked was downstairs.
Yeah.
From the bar. Like the
awesome.
The restaurant was here. As soon as you walk into the restaurant, there's a separate staircase just right off to the side that takes you up with a little roundabout staircase into that bar.
Jesus Christ.
Tell me about just lucky placement, timing, whatever.
Seriously.
It was cool as hell.
Well,
So I ended up going to that bar, and when I got up to the bar, there's a bourbon that I have been just like dying to find. I've told you about it, and it's impossible to find here. It's a bourbon called Blanton's. It is extremely difficult to find. Every shop that I've gone to, whether it's Total Wine or even calling up like local liquor shops, no one has it. I've even had like Total Wine tell me that the 2 different locations that I've checked here, one of them only got 5 bottles throughout the entirety of 2019. The other store wouldn't tell me how many they got, but just said whenever they get them, they only generally get 1 bottle at a time. And that bottle sells out pretty much within 15 minutes of them opening.
Jesus.
So I have been on the hunt for this bourbon to try to find it because I just really want to try it. This bar had it.
Damn, they did.
They had it. Not only did they have it, but they have a special program with the actual distillery that makes it.
What?
That someone from the bar goes out to the distillery and is able to pick a barrel that they will create specifically for this bar.
Damn. That bar was legit. Shit.
It was so damn cool. So I'm talking to the bartender there about this. He's telling me this whole story, and he knows how much I've been wanting to try it. He ended up giving me this little cork from a bottle of Blanton's. It looks just like that. It's a kind of horse out of focus, but
There it is.
He gave me the cork from the bottle, knowing like that I wanted to try it. So sure as hell, I went back later in the week and ended up trying. I didn't try it that night because it was $20 a pour. But but I went back later that week and I tried it, and damn, it was fantastic.
I'm trying to think, like, relatively to what other shit we've drinking. Like, we tried the Clase Azul. It was like $18 a pour.
Yeah.
So I'm like, is it relatively that expensive, or is it just that expensive plus LA prices?
So get this. A bottle of this, like, from, say, Total Wine. Like, if they were to carry it, a bottle of this bourbon is $60.
But because it's rare.
But because it's that hard to find, that's what drives the price up. I found a local place that has it. I called them up. They're like, yeah, we just got a bottle this morning. I'm cool. I'll be there, in the afternoon to go pick it up. He's like, great. It's $300.
What the fuck?
He marked it up 500%.
What the fuck? Fuck that.
So, yeah. But my honor goes out to that bartender. It's the bar is called 7 Grand. It's basically right in smack in LA on 7th Street and Grand. Hence the name 7 Grand.
I'm glad you went, because I would have given him so much shit. Because, again, we were looking for places and you showed me where you were staying, and it's around the fucking block. I'm like, if you don't go, man, like, you're not going to hear the end of this. And look what happened. I gave him a suggestion. He really had a great time.
I did.
Made a bartending friend, apparently. They gave him a fucking cork. That's fucking awesome. When I was there, I stole a pack of matches from it. I still have it.
No, seriously, the place was a block down the street from my hotel. So I just walked down there and it was good.
And honestly, when I found it randomly too, because I was bar hopping. And it's like, 7 Grand bar. I'm like, fuck it, let's see what this is about. Because it looked cool on Google. And it turned out pretty cool. Yeah. Turned into something later on. Every time I visit, I'm going to go there.
Yeah, for sure. I don't like downtown LA. I don't. I think it's a shithole. But
I mean, most downtowns are.
Most downtowns are. But that bar was absolutely fantastic. And it's a dedicated like whiskey and bourbon bar. They have other things, but primarily like whiskey and bourbon. It's like over 750 different kinds. It was fantastic. And so thank you for the recommendation. Shout out to that bartender. That was one hell of an experience. And you definitely made me remember it. And that's what sticks out to me. So you definitely get my honor this week. However, my report, funny enough, also revolves around Blanton's and around this.
Okay.
I have been on such a search for this. You have no idea. I've been trying to find it literally anywhere. So, I went to Total Wine about 15 minutes up the street from here.
Okay,
so
that one?
Not too far, yeah. And I went out to Total Wine, and I was just, you know what? I'm just going to ask, what are the chances? Can I put on a wait list? Like something. Like what are the possibilities of it absolutely just existing and me having any chance of getting it, right? Mm-hmm. So, I walked in, started looking through the section. I found someone that worked there and asked them about it. I was like, all right, realistically, I know you're not going to have it right now, but what are the chances that I'm able to get it when it comes in? Tell me why. This was the cockiest, most arrogant person I've ever dealt with in any sort of like retail personal experience, because his answer was that I won't. Not that like there's not a chance for me to get it, but that I won't get it. And the reason why I won't get it was because that every single time one bottle comes in, because they only generally get shipped one bottle at a time, that every single time one bottle comes in, one of the employees of the store buys it before it goes out on the shelf for customers.
Oh, what dick moves.
So he was like, it exists. He's like, I've got about 5 bottles of it at home.
Oh, what a dick.
Like, he told me flat out, like, I've got about 5 bottles at home. He's like, but you're not going to get it. It's like, you can come here every week when we get our shipments, when we open at 9 in the morning, and you probably still won't get it because someone will probably already bought it.
What a dick move. So that pisses me off enough. I'm not going back to that Total Wine anymore. I don't care that it's that close to that area, because it is convenient there sometimes. Fuck that place.
Yeah.
Fuck those employees.
That pissed me off. So, in the past, I worked in retail for almost 10 years up to this point. And from everything from just a, basic like part-time whatever all the way up to like district manager level within the
certain companies.
Yeah, within different companies in retail. And every single company that I have worked for had a very explicit rule that any limited edition items, any special items, any popular items were forbidden to be purchased by employees until a set window of time passed. I watched people, so full disclosure, this was years and years ago. I worked at Nike. Nike is very, very popular and very famous for the amount of releases that they do. Mm-hmm. Very limited edition, special edition releases. Mm-hmm. I watched multiple people, not just one, multiple people get fired on the spot because they hid a shoe on a launch day so that way they could buy it at the end of their shift and not save it for a customer. Nike did not play around with that at all. Good. And every other company that I have worked for had a very similar policy in that a special edition or any type of popular item was to be saved for the customer, not for the employees. After a certain amount of time, if it was still available, then an employee could purchase it. But an employee never got first dibs. That's what pisses me off so much about Total Wine.
Like, remember we've only written one Yelp review?
Yeah.
For that one place?
Yep.
This makes me want to write a Yelp review about this place. And like, because that is, not only is it rude and bad customer service, well, I guess that is. I mean, yeah. It's all it is. It's like, it's such a dick move to tell you, it's like, you're not going to get it, and because I'm buying them all. Like, who the fuck does that? Who thinks that's an okay thing to say?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you have such a good bad fucking person. That person deserves to be fired.
Like that alone just like that was so off-putting and so just infuriating. Again, like you said, we never write reviews. I was this close. I even asked my wife because she was there with me. I was like, do I ask for his manager right now? Like, do I be that guy? Do I be that person that's like, you know what?
Like, I would.
Let me talk to them.
I would consider it too.
I've thought.
Oh
about
my
it.
god!
I have. I'm not gonna lie. I've thought.
I kind of want to go back and do it. Again, it didn't even happen to me. But like, oh my god, I'd be so pissed. Like, fuck you! You're gonna buy this thing I want. Like, oh my god.
So
fuck that guy. I hope he gets fired.
Yeah. Fuck you, Total Wine guy.
Before I get too far away from the bartending guy, when I went to LA last time, I actually had a similar experience with the bartender, where the guy I met at a random bar seemed really nice. We actually got to talking about everything, and he made me a cocktail I really liked. I'm still trying to fucking remember what it was, because he's like, it's my own creation. Damn, it was good. But it was just, it's cool that we both went to LA and had a really good experience with these bartenders who, I mean, you brought something back. I brought back a memory. I was like, I want to go back, see if he still works there, type of thing. So good on bartenders this week.
Shout out to the awesome bartenders. You guys did great. You know, fantastic job there.
And fuck that Total Wine guy. Man,
Right?
it's gonna bother me the rest of the episode. I wish we should have done it at the end now. Like, what the fuck?
I intentionally didn't tell you that story because I wanted your reaction.
Oh my god! I'm glad you didn't. Could you imagine that being wasted in a text message? Fuck.
But that was a very interesting way to come back because it just happened this week. So after I'd come back from LA and did all that, overall, LA was awesome. It was a good trip. I was there for work conference, and so we got a lot of stuff done. I met a bunch of different people from the company from all around the country that I had never met. I actually met 2 people from some of our divisions in Japan and in Dubai.
Oh shit!
That was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
The guy from Japan was awesome, and the woman from Dubai was also awesome. And it was just really, really cool to actually have that experience and them telling us about like our business, but culturally how different it is in that country from how we do it here.
I can imagine that because basically one thing I've consistently heard about just Japan, not about Dubai, is that it is the closest experience we will get to going to a different planet. That is how different the culture of Japan is to anything we are familiar with. So that is interesting to hear on that one.
It was really, really cool. They were both really awesome people. They got to experience a bunch of just different things, but it was funny. So the very first day that I got there, the meeting started, or the conference started on a Monday morning at like 9 a.m. So my plane ticket was leaving here at 7 a.m. to get there at, whatever time. It's like an hour flight, hour and 15-minute flight from here. But I walked into the conference literally at 9:01.
Oh, shit.
Right as it's starting.
With your luggage.
With my luggage. Like, everyone else got there Sunday, the day before. I was the only one that flew out Monday morning.
Why?
Because I was at the party.
Oh, that's right. You can, family events. All right.
Yeah. So we were at the family party, family barbecue. It was my wife's birthday, her dad's birthday, and her little sister's birthday party, all celebrated in one. And
the best thing about that was singing happy birthday, because we're like, happy birthday,
all 3 of their names.
Happy birthday to you. Because everyone was confused at what we were going to do. I'm like, no, it's simple. You say all 3 names at once and move on.
Yeah, so
anyways,
I flew out the next day because of that party.
Yeah.
Anyways. Okay. I get there at like 9 a.m. One of the first things we're talking about is the 2 people from Japan and Dubai. They're like, everyone told us that we're coming to LA, we have to have tacos.
See,
so that was why I texted you. I was like, okay, downtown LA, where are the taco spots I need to go to?
So here's what led me to give you suggestions. The 2 places I knew downtown, or 3, are not regular street tacos. For street tacos, you have to go to the streets. And in downtown, I don't ever remember seeing it.
Closest you'll get to like the streets like Grand Central Market and everything.
Yeah, and that was one of the places. But like, I remember when I went and I met with that friend of ours, and we were driving to Koreatown, and we kept passing just random little food trucks. And then we had to go really far away, like Dodger Stadium, to find that huge thing with really cool cheap tacos. But those were like legit street tacos. So when you came to me, it was like, well, there's guisados, but it's like, it's not a traditional taco. It's just stewed.
It's like a modern flair to like a street taco.
Which are good. It's just, it's not what he was looking for. And then it's like, as I was looking on Google Maps, and I was like, oh shit, this one restaurant the name catches you. Yeah. I don't know about the food. Their Instagram's good, but people can do anything with Instagram post. But the name of the restaurant was
Pinches Tacos.
Tell me you wouldn't go to a restaurant called Pinches Tacos.
So literal translation.
Fucking tacos.
Yeah, that's literally what it means. Fucking tacos. And I explained that to the person from Japan and from Dubai, as well as everyone else from other parts of the country that are from like Virginia and Boston and whatever that have never actually, that have never actually had like legit tacos. They're like, I'm like, this place is literally called fucking tacos.
That's fucking awesome. I'm so glad they opened a downtown location just for this.
Yeah, so get this. So basically the way that it was broken down, so the hotel and everything was essentially on this corner. Mm. You walk down to the very next signal. Okay. That's where Pinches Tacos was.
So it was still on Grand, I guess?
It was basically on the same street. Yeah, it was like literally just right there on the same street in order to do it.
Across the street from Starbucks. Funny thing is,
I found it, yes, across from the Starbucks. I found it by accident.
Really?
Because that day, I said, you know what? I want Subway for lunch today. During our meetings. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go find Subway. So I did a map search. Where's the nearest Subway? It was right there on the corner. As I'm walking to the Subway, I see the sign, Pinches Tacos. I'm like, oh shit, I've heard of this place. It's like, I need to try this. It's like, all right, screw it, I'm going in. And I went inside to go try it. It's literally next to the Subway. Okay. So that was exactly how I found it. It was a total accident. I ate there 3 days in a row.
God damn. It must have been some good fucking tacos.
They were some good tacos. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, that's the place I need to go to then.
They were legit. They were actually really good tacos. And I took the people from Dubai and Japan, and they really liked them. Like, now I can tell people I've had like actual tacos
in LA.
And I'm like, yes, you have. And they were really freaking good.
That's awesome.
Funny enough, their best taco, fish taco.
That's cool. That's good.
Yeah, it was a good fish taco.
Like what type? Like what? Crispy?
It was fried. Yeah, it was
fried.
Like,
okay.
It was like a
like
fried
beer battered type of thing. Okay.
It wasn't beer battered, but it was like a fried fish. It was battered but fried.
Okay. It might be like breaded, I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was really good. Shout out to Pinches Tacos as well too. I really wish we could get some damn sponsorships in here because now I'm hungry.
You just ate,
yes.
Fat bastard. I was gonna call him something else, and I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, fat ass, whatever. Like, granted, you look at the two of us side by side.
He's always eaten more than me.
Yeah, I've known you for what? At this point, it's 15, 16 years? Like 15, 16 years. I have always been in the ballpark of probably like anywhere from maybe 50 to 100 pounds lighter than you.
I got something funny to tell you. All right, since we're talking about weight. So, my previous building, you know how I left and my company's moving on from them. I went to go drop off my keys finally. And I ran into my old building engineer. And the first thing he says to me was, hey, what happened to the diet, fool? Granted, when I left, I was on keto. And I'd lost a lot of weight. Like, pretty much last March, I lost like 20 pounds in a month. So keto works if you do it right. Obviously, I stopped. I was like,
I think we both need to do it.
I was like, man, when I got promoted, man, I really started drinking. that is like the switch that happened. And it's like, you need something to help with your long days. And it's like, it was like, what are the odds? The first thing he tells me is like, hey, what happened to that weight loss?
Damn.
Because there's this video that Mix and I, or a friend from the first episode, we keep bringing up, where it's like these two fat little Mexican kids fighting, and he's like, I'll fucking kick your ass, you little fat ass. And the other kid goes, you're fat too. And it's like, fuck you. I fucking love that video so much. It's like, you're fat too. Anyways, that's what I wanted to tell him, but obviously we're in a work environment.
Speaking of ass kicking, though.
Oh, Okay, I know what you're talking about. I want to see what you're talking about.
I was gonna say, speaking of asking, now that you bring up that video,
Okay.
like two fat asses just beating each other, beating each other up.
Shit. That's mean. They're not fat.
That was a perfect segue. That was totally unintentional, but
Really?
I will take it. So, Fury Wilder fight. It was their second fight, right?
Yeah. So again, the first one I think ended in a draw.
Yeah, I don't know. I am horrible at boxing and paying attention to all
Yeah.
of that. So, who was the dumbass that came out wearing like 50 pounds of armor?
Here's how little we pay attention to boxing. I don't know their fucking names, but it was the black guy. Hold on. Now it's gonna bug me. But continue.
So, supposed to be like one of the biggest fights. Supposed to be one of the biggest events of the year. And it's crazy hyped up. Everyone's watching. Everyone's looking to watch it.
So Tyson Fury is the white guy. So it was Wilder who got his ass beat.
Yeah.
Continue.
We totally did our research before this episode.
I mean, we weren't really going to plan on talking about this a lot, but
Yeah, we
we
didn't wanna
couldn't
spend too much
ignore the stupidity.
Couldn't ignore the fact that you came out to the ring wearing like 50 pounds worth of custom armor. Got your ass beat. Just completely beat. And your excuse was, yeah, I got tired because I wore all that armor to the ring.
40 pounds, right? To me, it's like, you dumbass. Did you not wear it before and figured, oh, this is going to be heavy?
Now see how much it's going to weigh on you.
See, that's his reason. I don't know if I truly believe it. I mean, again, I don't know boxing. I don't know what it does to the body to carry 40 pounds before a fight and your legs are down. He could be telling the truth. But it just, really, bro? That's what you're going to blame? Just like, hey, I just got my ass beat. And he was pissed at this corner through the town. It's like, bro, we were 7 rounds in. You were getting your ass beat from the very start. You weren't going to win this fight unless you knocked him out. And you were look dead, tired. Couldn't put your arms up. It was so one-sided.
Yeah, that was so ridiculous.
What a fucking dumbass.
Right?
And then we were listening to Shaq podcast. They were discussing this. And he was trying to defend him. He was like, oh, no, I was like...
It's like, you're never going to admit that the other guy was just better than you. You're going to make up an excuse. I'm like, that's just some bullshit. Like, okay, this person was better than me on this day. I'm going to come back. I'm going to do better. I'm going to call it good. And then just like, I'm actually going to improve. But no, his excuse was, I was wearing
40 pounds of armor.
40, 50, however many pounds of armor. And so I was tired after walking out to the ring wearing this armor. That is the most bullshit excuse. Honestly, you deserve to be number 2 on both of our reports for this week because fuck that excuse.
Actually, speaking of a stupid athlete, did you hear about the New York Jets second-year player who walked into the... I mean, he plays for the Jets. I assume it's a New York airport. Motherfucker tried to board a plane with a Glock 19. I saw that on Instagram this morning. I mean, I think his name is Quinnen Williams, where... I remember this one video back before he was drafted. He sneezed and he blessed himself, and it caught people's attention. He was that polite that he was like, bless me. But anyways, going back to this story, it's like, how stupid do you have to be to try to take a fucking gun through the airport? I mean,
and
there's
not
probably
just
more
any airport, but like
in New York.
In New York,
Because the first thing that comes to mind is Plaxico Burress, that a New York
shooting
Giants player
himself in the leg
at the club, and like he didn't play after that.
Yeah,
clearly
did
different
he, like, do
circumstances.
prison time too?
Yeah, he did prison time too. And it happened so long ago. I bet this guy was probably like 10 when it happened, if that.
Yeah.
But like, God, that makes me feel old. But Jesus, what do you think was gonna happen? Honestly.
Like, so did it say like how he was like carrying it, or was it just like on his
only saw the
waist in his bag?
I only saw the Instagram post, so we don't have the full story on this, obviously. That's all I saw was that he was caught with a Glock 19 at the airport.
That is just a dumbass, man.
Yeah.
But speaking of airports, you know what? That reminds me.
Okay.
So I've just spent a decent amount of time in the last week in an airport.
You want to tell them how much time you spent on Friday?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's your story. Okay.
So, my conference was over. It was Monday through Friday conference. And obviously my work paid for the plane tickets, paid for the flights, which as they should. They fly us out there and make us go out there.
I'm curious to see how much they paid for the Japan and Dubai plane tickets, man. But
I can look it up. I actually there's a form that I have that shows like everyone just for like all of our expenses. I can actually look it up. So remind me. I will see what I can find from there. But my flight. So the meeting ended at around like noon-ish on Friday. Mm-hmm. My flight out of LA wasn't until 9 o'clock.
So you chilled at the airport for 8+ hours?
Yep. Here's why.
Okay.
Because
I wanted to give you shit when you told me.
I was hopeful that I could get my flight changed to an earlier flight.
Okay.
So I was thinking like, okay, they booked us a flight that would allow us to be able to change it to like an earlier flight. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to go to the airport instead of carrying my luggage all through like downtown LA and going to all of these places with freaking luggage. It's like, I'm just going to go to the airport, see if I can get an earlier flight, and then hope that I can come home early. That was my goal. Got to the airport and checked in at the front desk there to see if I could actually get an earlier flight. And she looked up my ticket and was like, nope, your company booked our like saver flight. And so in order to make a change to an earlier flight, it's going to cost you $200.
So you would have paid, you basically not paid $25 an hour, which, I agree. I think you made the right decision. The reason I knew you couldn't, because like, why didn't he just go hang out somewhere else? Because I knew you had luggage, and that's really uncomfortable to carry luggage anywhere. Yeah.
If you're walking through downtown LA as just like a tourist going to all these different places, you're rolling like your little luggage around.
Oh, I carried a backpack and it was annoying.
Yeah, so it's like I have my normal carry-on bag and then like a little rolling luggage.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of shit to carry around walking around everywhere. No, fuck that.
Yeah, so I just ended up going to the airport. Turns out a bunch of the people from the meeting had the same idea. And their flights didn't leave until like 7 o'clock.
No, so you had company.
So yeah, we all just kind of hung out, went to the bar in the airport, just like drank and hung out for a while and started talking.
What is that place at the airport that you discovered? Was it what type of bar? Centurion, something like that?
Oh, the Centurion Lounges, yeah, through American Express.
It came up my board to me yesterday where a board member was like, you know what I just discovered? Oh, they have that.
Phoenix has a Centurion Lounge.
Keep in mind, this guy's worth billions. And he just discovered this, and he's just so happy about it. It's like, it's funny that a billionaire and Ramon have a shared joy in the Centurion bar. Heart of a rich man, people.
Yeah. I will say that it's definitely a guilty pleasure, though. Like, you don't really realize how cool that lounge is until you actually go to it. So I've been to two of them.
What do you
I've been to the one in Phoenix, and I've been to the one in Miami.
What do you need to be allowed in there?
American Express Platinum card.
Okay.
And a flight on American Airlines that same day.
Oh, okay.
So you need both because it's in the American Airlines terminals, and so they actually will check your flight itinerary and make sure that you actually have that card, and in order to actually let you in.
Got it.
But the lounges are free food, upgraded Wi-Fi over like standard airport Wi-Fi, free drinks, like everything completely free. You just go in, you hang out, you chill, you can literally just...
Do you ever have, well, I know this is all kind of off topic, but also on topic with what you said. Do you ever have concerns about connecting to public Wi-Fi? I feel like you would.
Oh yeah, I do.
So did you connect to it?
Hell no.
That's what I figured.
I run a VPN.
Got it.
On my data service.
What?
Like, I'm constantly connected to LTE and I still run a VPN. Like, I don't connect to public Wi-Fi ever.
I don't.
And if I do, I am 100% on a VPN. Like, no hesitation, no doubts. Like, I am always on that. So, no, I did not connect to their Wi-Fi. I had good enough service that I didn't need to. So,
that's good.
That was it. But those lounges are awesome.
How good is the food in there?
It was good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's good food. Like, it's, so, I mean, it's buffet style. So as far as like they'll have just kind of like covered buffets and you put everything out, but the quality is what you would expect from. Oh, what's the closest thing I can think of? It's what you would expect from almost like banquet hall type thing.
Okay.
Where it's not like the flashiest food
More than
you've
a
ever had.
continental breakfast, but it's not that something.
Yeah, it's not like this luxury high-end restaurant, but it's the best food you'll get in an airport.
You sure about that? Remember that pizza we had when we were going to San Antonio? That pizza was pretty good.
Yeah, but I would still say this, like, overall...
Oh, then it was free.
Yeah, the overall quality of this food, and it's completely free. Like, you can go back, get as much as you want. You can go back, get as many drinks as you want. Like, doesn't matter. Like, just go. So I remember one time I went, when I was in the one in Miami, it was when my wife and I were coming back from Spain. And I wanted them to make a Gold Rush, the drink we featured on first episode, or I think it was the first episode.
It was.
But where it's bourbon, lemon juice, and honey syrup. They didn't have honey syrup. Like, the bartender didn't know how to make a Gold Rush, and so I told her what the ingredients were. They didn't have honey syrup. So she went back to the kitchen and had them make honey syrup so she could put it in my drink.
Man, that's going above and beyond. Because I would have been
That
like,
was
fuck
dope.
that guy. Lemonade and whiskey.
Cool.
That's what you get.
That was cool.
Yeah,
so,
that's attention to detail.
Yeah.
Because can you imagine, what are the odds someone else is going to go back and order Gold Rush? No, they made honey syrup and it's just for you.
Right, exactly. Tell me why LAX doesn't have that lounge, though.
I imagine because the amount of people, right?
I have no idea, but it pissed me off. They're building it, but they don't have one.
Okay.
But I know that is my elitist rant of the day. Felipe said it. I got the same taste as a billionaire, but I have like take off like most of those zeros, and when I say most, I mean like all of them, and then you get me. That's literally where I'm at this point.
Damn. Well, before we get, I want to talk about my work a little bit, just because I mentioned the board member at that board meeting. So one of the constant issues that we kept dealing with at my building when I went in there is that the elevators constantly kept going down. And I was bragging at my board meeting yesterday. I was like, it's been 3 months since we had a full elevator shut down. We've kind of discovered these issues and we fixed them. And some of them were like just damn stupid of contracted employees doing something stupid. Tell me, what are the fucking odds that as soon as I'm bragging about it yesterday, it happens on my way here to record this shit? Like, what the fuck? 3 months and then suddenly I get a call from my employee saying, hey, all 4 elevators are down. What the fuck do I do? I was like, you've got to be shitting me. Come on. That was some bullshit. I was so pissed.
That's karma coming to bite you because you got cocky.
I mean, it was something to brag about when this is what we've been dealing with forever, and you kind of figured it out. Of course I'm going to brag about it. I'm trying to say, hey, I'm young. People keep thinking I'm too young for this. I'm doing a fucking good job. Clearly, I'm fixing all your fucking issues, and for a lot cheaper than you've been dealing with in the past. So, of course, I'm going to brag about it. And it fucking happens. Like, come on. Fuck that shit.
They got it figured out, though?
No. It turned... So, there's some causing power surges. I blame the construction all downtown. As you see, a lot of shit's going up. They got 3 of them. One, the circuit board broke, and blah, 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 blah. That'll be fixed eventually. You can't fix things Friday nights, apparently.
Oh.
Clearly. I mean, life happens, shit.
Yeah.
But, they've got elevators at a building that needs them, clearly, because, it's a really, really high rise.
Like 6 elevators?
4.
4 plus the service? Or
No, 4 including the service.
Oh, okay. I don't know. It's been a while since I've been there, so I was like, I didn't remember how many you had.
It'd be nice to have 6. It just adds a lot to maintenance costs and all that, but yeah, no, they got basically 3. They got 2 and then the service.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I just had a thought of what I need to tell an employee. So I just froze for a second. I'm like, yeah.
Both of us, we always think of stuff for work that like we just literally never stop thinking about it, and then just the most random things will remind us of something work related, and then like
such a bad habit. Like I'm in the middle of meetings and like talking like face to face with my boss, and then something will pop into my head, and I have that habit just turning. I was like, oh yeah. And then I come back to the conversation and it's just like my mind just jumps so much when I should be paying attention what the fuck is going on in front of me.
Yeah.
And god damn, it's gonna bite me in the ass one day.
Yeah. You definitely just like you start pigeonholing and like you start working on something and you just get this idea in your head. And I was spacing the hell out during my conference. I'm not even going to lie. Everyone talking about just all these different things that they're all doing and all the different divisions and all the different locations, everything that they're doing. And I'm just there like,
to me,
I could probably do that when I go back.
Have you ever seen the movie Up?
Yeah. Squirrel!
Yep. My boss tells me, my former boss says like, you know what you remind me of? What? Squirrel. It's like, God damn, that's right. That is pretty much it. I'm like a fucking dog. Thank you.
My name's Doug and I love squirrel.
I forgot about the full scene.
I just watched that movie again like a couple weeks ago with my wife. I forget why we watched it, but we just ended up watching it and it's like fresh in my head. That's why.
The thing about Pixar movies is like, you don't ever really go back and plan to watch them. I don't. I guess you don't either.
Yeah.
You don't really watch movies. But like once you start it, you kind of enjoy it. You just it takes
it's
a while.
A guilty pleasure.
It takes a while to make that circle to go back to watch them again.
You're like a little kid at heart. You know, you go back to those movies and you're just like, ooh, this is such a good movie. And I still do that now. Like I tell my employees and new hires, anything like that all the time. It's like, I am the definition of the dog from that movie, where I'll just start working on something and immediately I'm just like, squirrel, what's going on? And that is 100% me. Like when I'm at work, I see something and
What was your favorite movie growing up? Like, let's say from where you remember to like 7th grade. I think that's when you're still young.
I'm going to get judged so hard for this. Cool Runnings.
Yeah, man! Was it, you dead, man?
Yeah, I watched it so much growing up that I had the movie basically memorized. My parents loved it, and so I just watched it like crazy. To this day, I still have that movie memorized. I remember several years ago when my wife and I were just dating, and I was like, all right, babe, I really want to watch this movie.
Yeah.
And so we turned it on. I'd never seen her so disappointed and just like not. She was so disappointed at my taste in movies. To this day, she doesn't let me pick what we watch.
Oh, that's fucked up. That's a good movie. I think we've honestly probably had this conversation before because I feel you mentioned it before. And after like that same week, I went to go back to watch it again. Man, I enjoyed it so much.
It's got so many good moments. It really does.
Oh, it's a great movie. Honestly,
it's such a good movie. So many just good one-liners, and I get it. I'm dating myself. You know, those movies from like the early '90s, but it's such a damn good movie, and it's just funny.
Rest in peace, John Candy.
Yeah, that's true.
Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhyme. Fuck. Oh, just so time. Random. Oh man, that is a good movie. But every time.
Okay.
Every time I don't hear from one of you guys in a while, I try to send that memes like, "You dead, man?"
Yeah, it's a classic. It really is.
That's a good movie. I forgot.
All right, since you asked me, what was yours?
That's a hard one.
Because you're the movie buff here.
Yeah, but like I feel like I didn't really like movies when I was younger. Like my favorite movie is Lord of the Rings, and I was 11 when that came out. So that, but if I had to pick like a kids movie, it's probably Lion King. I watched the shit out of that. I haven't watched the new one that came out this year or last year.
I haven't watched it either.
I guess it's on my list. I have Disney Plus. It's on my watch list. I don't know why it's taking me so long to watch it. But man, I love that movie. And again, it goes back. Apparently, it's like Hamlet or some shit.
Really?
It's some Shakespeare play.
I did not know that.
That was my favorite one. It's not as clear as I remember your movie more fondly than mine because again, when it was my favorite movie, I was like 4, 5, 6. Whenever I watched it through all those periods, so that's why I consider it my favorite movie growing up.
So it's funny though. So it's funny that you mention it's favorite movies because I'll always remember hearing the story of my wife telling me her favorite movie growing up.
Okay.
was The Land Before Time.
Oh shit! That was it! Oh my god, I had that shit on VHS, the first one. Oh my god, Littlefoot was the shit.
But get this.
Okay.
When she first watched it and she remembered watching it, became her favorite movie, she didn't understand English.
No, okay. You know what the funny thing is? My first viewing of Lion King was in Spanish. It was in theaters too, which was in LA, so I assume that's okay. And then my parents bought me the VHS in Spanish first. So yeah, I had similar experience as your wife. Holy shit, that's hilarious! Yes! Oh my god! But what are they? It was in Spanish.
Yeah, it was. So like the movie was in English. She didn't understand what was going on in the movie.
She didn't understand the fucking movie.
Yeah, but it was still her favorite movie. It was like the movie was so good that just the animation and everything.
Sorry, continue.
The animation and everything told such a good story that you could tell everything that was happening without actually understanding the movie.
Oh my god, that's terrible. I'm sorry, it shouldn't be as funny, but if you knew her, goddamn it, that's fucking hilarious. Oh man.
And on that note,
do you want to call it?
Yeah, we're gonna call it.
Okay.
It's always good to end on something like that. So, thank you guys for watching. This was episode 5 of a Nobody Important podcast. Felipe cannot stop laughing, so he needs to catch his breath. But please follow us on YouTube, on Instagram, and I'm still working on getting everything uploaded to the different podcast channels. God. But thank you again for watching, and see you.
Fucking cutting this shit.